Hi everyone, I hope you are doing fine. I'm meeting after a long time. Today I'm going to give you a very quick tip and a tool which will be helpful in most of the scenarios. Especially if you are in sales profession, we have to persuade somebody, sell something to somebody, then this tip and this technique is going to be very useful to you. Okay, so I think if you have seen some of my previous videos, I have talked about this eye accessing cues and how the eye moves in a specific direction when it tries to access specific area of the brain. Now continuing with the same concept, the same tool, when you are talking to somebody and if you carefully observe the facial expressions or the eye movements of the person, you can definitely make out how the person thinks or how the person memorizes as his primary representational system. Now, we all know that we experience this world through our five senses. What are those? Our eyes, we see through eyes. Our ears, we hear through our ears. We smell through our nose. We feel through our skin, right? So, using these five senses, and we test using our tongue. Okay, so using these five senses, whatever we experience of the world, we memorize it in that format. Now every person has one primary modality or representational system in which he or she stores the information. So majority of us are visual in nature. So what do I mean by that is, if I ask you to memorize something, you will memorize it in terms of either a picture, a movie, right? You would have saved that memory visually. Likewise, some people are auditory in nature. So if I ask them to memorize something, they will try to listen to the same sounds that they would have when that thing happened. Some people are very touchy-feely. We call it kinesthetic in our parlance. So if I ask you to memorize something, you will try to get into that scenario and try to feel what happened at that point in time. Who all were around you, how were you feeling at that point in time, and you will memorize it through that. Now using the same cues, what I'm going to tell you is, so if you're talking to a person, if you're selling something, and if the person continuously looks up, right, like this or like this, then immediately you know that that person is visual in nature. Okay, if a person looks sideways like this or this, then that person is auditory in nature. And if the person looks down in this direction or this direction, then that person is more kinesthetic. So kinesthetic means he tries to feel that moment. Okay, now here is an example of how you can use this. If you are selling a car to somebody and the person is visual in nature, so you try to talk to him in the same language, the visual language. He understands images, movies, right? So you show him the videos of the car, you show him your catalog where the car comes with different specification, different colors, you show him the interior, right? So because you are talking to him in his own preferred language, that will make a better impact. At the same time, if the person is auditory, you get him to listen to the feedbacks that you have received for maybe your car or whatever you are selling, right? If the person is touchy-feely kinesthetic, you actually get that person to sit in the car, feel how is the seating arrangement, feel the steering wheel, feel the gear knob and everything. So that person can relate to that much more. Okay, now I'm not saying that a person is 100% visual or auditory or kinesthetic, but more or less a person has one preferred representational system. Now if you carefully observe and use this in your common day-to-day life as well, you will be definitely a better communicator. You will be very effective in getting your message through to the other person, because you are actually talking in the same language that the person understands the most. Okay, now you don't have to be a salesman to use this. As I said, we keep on talking to so many people in a day, and we are always trying to impress somebody with whatever we are doing, right? More or less we are trying to do that. Now if you want to get your message across effectively, try to observe carefully what the person is doing with his eyes, his facial expressions, and try to match and mirror the same language pattern. This will be very, very effective. So all the best in all your persuasions, your sales, and in general trying to impress somebody with whom you are talking to. This is it for now. All the best. Take control of your life and live happily. Bye for now.